All right, thank you for staying with us here on the morning edition. We're now taking you to the front page of Nigeria's newspapers this morning, and we're starting off with the Punch newspaper, as colorful as always with some of those headlines. We start off with a big one that says 2027 poll, 571 billion naira campaign spending limit for presidential and governorship candidates. Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, Makinde, 15 presidential candidates allowed 190 billion naira campaign spend. Okay. How much was spent again during the Ekiti governorship election? How much was spent during the Osun governorship election? Well, obviously, there is a part of the Electoral Act that stipulates how much, or the benchmark, that candidates cannot exceed when it comes to campaign spending. And that, again, is on the front burner, especially since campaigns have begun. New Electoral Act sets 500 million naira ceiling on individual donations. INEC says it will monitor campaign spending. 127 governorship candidates get 381 billion naira campaign spending limit. Electoral advocacy bodies urge strict compliance. Okay, and you can see the picture of ex-servicemen who suspend their protest after Defense Minister assurance. Pension row. Of course, we had that protest yesterday at the defense headquarters, but we understand that ex-servicemen have now suspended their protest after Defense Minister assurance. You can see them holding some of their placards. Military pensioners, it's a pension right, not a favor. And you can also see them in a meeting with the Minister of Defense right there. Well, we have Osun poll. Adeleke gets certificate, unveils 500 million naira victims fund. Ondo man arrested for burning daughter over bedwetting. Oh my. Sanwo-Olu gives 20 million naira each to LASU's best graduating student. All right, and the top strip will have 30 months after subsidy removal. Federal government spends 30.6 trillion naira, saves 15.8 trillion naira. Minimum wage allowances swallowed subsidy savings. This is coming from Finance Minister. Minimum wage allowances swallowed subsidy savings. So in case you've been asking, all the money that was saved, where did it go to? There's your explanation for you. President moves EFCC recoveries, 242 billion naira unclaimed dividends to NEL fund. All the money that EFCC has recovered, plus a good amount of unclaimed dividends have now been directed to NEL fund as instructed by the president. Tinubu orders further forensic probe into fake agency scandal. We also have that. The ICPC has submitted their report to the president, but it appears there's still more to be done with regards to the fake agency scandal. Well, those are some of the headlines we have on the Punch newspaper this morning.
Indeed, from the Punch newspaper, we move it over to the Vanguard this morning, where it's still a lot heavy with the news. And the Vanguard newspaper says with the leading story this morning, it says, allocation can't guarantee prosperity for states. Oyedele, the Minister of Finance, is saying that with the following writer, says government saved 15.8 trillion naira from subsidy removal. Note, wage bill exceeded subsidy savings, account for 30 trillion naira subsidy windfall. Now, Atiku challenges Tinubu. Those are the writers following the story. Allocations can't guarantee prosperity for states. Oyedele says the main picture on the front page of the Vanguard as well. We have members of political parties and others at a reunion organized by the former staff of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, there seems to be some celebration for Vanguard at 40. Congratulations to them now. And above the nameplates, Nigeria targets 3 million barrel per day. That's BPD, 3M BPD, $50 billion investment, 215 CCF's gas reserve says the federal government. Accolades for Vanguard. Uncle Sam as ex-staff launch book. Reunite plan media library. IBB to Uncle Sam. You are a nation builder, custodian of a collective conscience. Still on Vanguard and at 40. FEC approves forensic audit to identify fake agencies, ghost employees. Also on the Vanguard, Tinubu appoints Abel Eniton as head of the Civil Service of the Federation, letting go of Walt Jackson now, whose retirement age requirement is close by. And that's one of the leading stories that will be found across all papers this morning. Hoodlums shoot at Adeleke's convoy in Osogbo. Right after receiving his certificate of return yesterday, on his way from the palace, he had some hoodlums who attacked his convoy. But everyone is safe at the moment with reports that we've gotten so far. But those are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Any of the stories interest you? Let us know your thoughts.
The Guardian newspaper this morning. Very quickly, state spending faces scrutiny over 15.8 trillion naira windfall and citizens' welfare. And we have the revenue split in federal spending. 15.8 trillion naira. That's a total subsidy savings. That's how much we've realized in about 30 months from the subsidy, June 2023 to 2025, and 10.4 trillion has been shared with states and local governments. 92% of the new federal revenue consumed by two items will have 18.76 trillion spent almost entirely on bloated debt service cost and federal wage adjustments. Wage gains benefit only 0.6% of the population. Federal payroll adjustments reach approximately 1.35 million civil servants amid a 500% fuel price hike. So, I mean, it's important that we do all of this breakdown to actually understand what exactly has transpired with regards to the economy of the nation. The state level accountability gap, and you're looking at the state revenue, which has now skyrocketed, right? We had it at about 4.8 trillion before, but in 2025, look at that diagram on the front page of The Guardian. It's now at 15.53 trillion from 4.84 trillion. And then borrowing, state borrowing now, also increased 65%. And there's priority shift away from health and education. A decline in what we've spent on education, a decline in what we've also spent on health. And if you want more details, you're going to have to pick up yourself a copy of The Guardian. Details on page 6. El-Rufai's bid to transfer trial fails as Kaduna CJ backs Justice Kobo. El-Rufai's bid to transfer trial fails as the Chief Justice of Kaduna backs Justice Kobo. Military pensioners storm Defense Ministry to protest 12-month arrears. Mangu massacre. Northern senators reject condolences, demand action. Of course, we saw that story emanating from Plateau just a couple of days ago about an attack where a good number of people lost their lives. And Northern senators have rejected condolences with regards to that. They're asking for action. Tinubu orders security overhaul amid concerns over policing and gun violence. Pre-election anxiety, profit taking, wipe 5 trillion from Nigerian exchange after 160 trillion naira peak. 2027, Nigeria risks revenge of the poor over worsening hardship, Utomi warns. 9.5 trillion naira salary bill, FEC targets ghost workers and payroll fraud. That's one of the fallouts of the Federal Executive Council meeting. 2027, look beyond campaign slogans. Obi challenges Nigerians. That's some of the headlines on the Guardian newspaper this morning.